What if I could give you a key to unlock the entire history of cookies with one single recipe? See, that's what we're gonna do today. I'm not gonna teach you one recipe. I'm gonna teach you about 100 million recipes today. See, this recipe that I'm gonna teach you is less of a recipe and more of a ratio. So this ratio is a basic sugar cookie ratio that will allow you to make any cookie that your mind can dream up. This is the cookie of cookies. This is the original, the classic. It is the cookie recipe that all other cookies are built off of. And when we make it extra, you'll see how easy it is to alter and adjust the ratios to create something amazing. Guys, join me now as we create our 1, 2, 3 sugar cookies. So the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna get your baking scale and tear that guy out. You're gonna add 100 grams of sugar, 200 grams of softened butter, and since there are only 3 ingredients in this recipe, you wanna make sure that your butter is good. You're gonna cream that on high until it starts to incorporate air and gets nice and soft. From there, you will then sift in 300 grams of regular all-purpose flour. You can really use any flour that you want here, but I like to use all-purpose because there isn't a lot of gluten development for all-purpose flour. Turn that back on low until it begins to take on a bit of a sandy texture. You don't want to work super hard to make it into a cohesive dough right now because you want to avoid gluten development. So see how it's gotten nice and sandy here? At this point you want to turn it off, scrape down any butter that might be stuck to the side so it's a little bit more of a homogeneous mixture. Now you can turn it on high just until it comes together. And see, we've kind of got like a pebblish, wet sand texture. That's exactly what you're looking for. Now, what you're gonna do is you take this pebbly wet sand and you put it on your paper, but you can add any type of flavoring you want, like Earl Grey tea, or pistachios, or Israeli rose petals if you want to get real fancy, or maybe some spices, or maybe some citrus zest, or my personal favorite, dried crystallized ginger or other dried fruits go really well in this cookie. See, the reason why I wanted to do this cookie is it's super versatile and it takes on the flavor of anything you put in. So now, after you've added your flavorings, at this point you would dump it onto a sheet of parchment paper or plastic wrap. Both of them work equally well, and you want to form it into kind of a rough log. And the dough is soft at this point, so it's still pretty pliable. It's got the texture of like Play-Doh. And so what you do is you roll one layer of the paper over the other, and then you can kind of form it into a loose log. I actually probably could have worked on my forming skills a little bit here. They didn't turn out quite as round as I would have wanted, but who's judging? They're delicious. So now that I got this figured out, rolled it into a nice little log, we will then go and pop it in the refrigerator. And this dough lasts a really long time in the refrigerator. And in fact, if you made this dough now and popped it in the freezer, you could literally pull it out the day before Christmas and have fresh cookies for anybody who's coming. So let that rest in the refrigerator for about an hour before cutting. And when you cut these cookies, I'll give you kind of a helpful hint. Since the dough gets soft, it sticks to the cutting board. So what you want to do is lay down some raw sugar. So sugar in the raw or any other crystal sugar will actually help it from sticking to the cutting board and you lose your shape. But what also happens is that when you roll it in here, just like that, get a nice little coating on it, the sugar actually crystallizes in the oven and creates an amazing textural difference between the soft, buttery inside of the cookie and the crystallized outside that gives you a little bit of a crunch. These cookies are super delicate and everyone loves them. These I make at least once or twice a year. I actually used to have people over my house weekly in the past, and I would do a different flavor every week just for fun. So with these cookies, you actually want to cut them a little bit thicker than you think they need to be, because they actually really don't spread that much when you cook them. So take a look at these. They were in the oven for about 15 minutes and did not take on a whole lot of color. All right, so this is it, our ultra basic sugar cookie. Now this thing is plain. It's like a blank canvas, right? So on its own like this, I haven't really added anything to it. So it is a super basic cookie. In fact, this is the basic of basics. The thing that I love about it is if you take a look, beautifully tender, making a mess. The thing that I love about this is rolling it in a little bit of the raw sugar. It adds a textural element, and you might not be able to hear the crunch, but just look at my face as I eat it. Just because it's basic doesn't mean that it's not amazing. That's for sure. Yeah, I can eat a whole tray of these. I can't wait for the extras to come out. Sugar cookie right here.